Casio, final take. Hello, my people. Thank you for taking the time to press play on this video. I hope that your week is off to a beautiful start. And as you can see, your girl has taken her closet detox into a few other rooms. If you watched my closet detox video, you know that I have started kind of detaching from my belongings and my clothes, and I've been thinking a lot about, do I want to stay in this apartment? Do I want to stay in LA? What do I want to do? And I have sold and given away most of my belongings, and I have decided that I am, after 5 years of living in this apartment, the longest I've lived in a place since I moved back to LA, that it's time for your girl to move on and try something new. This is something that I've been thinking about for a while. I've been really patient with this process, and although this is a weird time to make a big life decision like that, it feels like the right moment for me. And so this video is not going to be about what my next chapter is. That's probably going to be the next video, but I thought, because I have learned so much about myself in the 5 years that I've lived here, have experienced so much growth and just awakenings in this apartment, and I've shared so much of myself with all of you that I want to do that one last time. Not one last time on my channel, but one last time in this apartment. Damon, who is one of my best friends, he's been one of the biggest supporters in this big decision in my life, and one of the best, most talented filmmakers that I know actually came up with today's video idea. The idea is to pull a question from this card game. It's called the Confessions game from the School of Life. This is not sponsored by them, but it's just a deck of cards with a bunch of really in-depth questions, and his idea is to just answer one of those questions from each of the categories in each of the rooms that I'm kind of cleaning up and wrapping up my time in. So that is what I'm doing today, and he has a video doing the same thing on his channel. Please go check it out. You will not be disappointed. And I really love this idea. I think it totally aligns with what I've been doing in this place on my channel. And I think it's a beautiful way to wrap up my time and share more of myself with all of you while I'm in here. I've already pulled my questions, so as I wrap up the deep cleaning in my place, I'm about to get a little deeper with y'all. So I'm going to go grab my Swiffer, get to cleaning on these floors because your girl wants her deposit back, okay? And answer the first question. So my first question is, what was your most foolish financial decision that haunts you in the small hours of the night? Okay, listen up. I am so incredibly grateful that I had the opportunity to attend college. It's a privilege, there's no doubt about it. It's not easy to acquire college debt like I have, but I did it. But I would honestly say that for me personally, going to college was the worst financial decision that I made, because I didn't go to college because there was a specific thing that I wanted to learn. I went to college purely because that's what everybody at my high school did. It was considered like shameful to go to a community college for a year, or to take a gap year, or to just like think about what you want to do. And I jumped into going to college when I knew in my heart that I wanted to work in entertainment and create videos and do something that was more creative. And although I think you can learn so much through college, what I wanted to learn, I could have and have learned the most by like experience and working in the industry. I think that if I had went to high school in LA, I probably would have taken more time to make that decision, but it was just, I went to high school in a very conservative small town, and it's just what everybody did, and I wasn't confident enough to do something different then. And you should educate yourself for the rest of your life. But you can do that in so many different ways. And for people who want to work in creative industries, you know, a college degree isn't always necessary, and there's so much you can gain from college, but I feel like the most education I've received in terms of what I'm doing now, like digital and YouTube and video creating, has been through like working in the industry itself. And you don't really need a degree to do what I'm doing. You don't need a degree to do what I'm doing. There are so many people in this industry who are so incredibly successful and they don't have a college degree. And I think that if you're someone like me, who, you know, we didn't have the financial means to like pay for college, and you know, you can't be hard on yourself about the decisions you've already made, but I am a huge supporter of receiving education in different ways. And if college isn't something that feels like it's for you, or maybe it's not something that you can afford in the moment, I wouldn't be so pressed about it. Unless, of course, you want to be like a doctor or a lawyer or something that requires a degree. It's a big financial decision for people who are still figuring out who they are. And if you are hesitant and you're not 100% sure if that is an investment you want to make, you lose nothing from taking a year off to think about it. You lose nothing. So that's my 2 cents. These floors are not getting anywhere near as clean as I need them to be, but yes, I would say for me personally, taking out loans for school was the most foolish financial decision that I made. And like I would want to say, I don't think college is foolish. Education is incredible, and if you have the means to do that, do it, and like be fully there and taking every moment, because so many people don't get that opportunity. But looking back on it, I wouldn't have gone. I really wouldn't have. The next question is, what is it about your character that hasn't enabled you to make more money? Okay, so I think that's something that has, I wouldn't say it's held me back, because I'm very, I'm conscious of this. I'm not a money-driven person, and I care much more about having the freedom to make my own schedule and create and travel and connect with my friends and family over money. I have never been a person who is like striving to climb the ladder in a company or work in like a 9-to-5 environment, because I just really value my freedom and my freedom to create. So that comes with its sacrifices. I want to make more money and live an abundant life so that I can provide for my family and give back and just make sure the people that I love are taken care of. But money does not fuel me, and I have denied plenty of opportunities and taken pay cuts because creating just and having this freedom is something that I value more, and I know that I can make a good living doing this. It might just take a little bit longer for me to get there. I also think, and this is kind of related to my college question, that because I didn't have the confidence to bet on myself and do what I'm doing now earlier, now it's taking me a little more time to make money in this space because it's super saturated, and I know that. So yeah, I would say that because I'm not a money-driven person, and because it took me, because I am just now developing the confidence to try to make money in a way that feels more true to me, is why I haven't made more money. This question is a good one. Who is the person you've treated the worst in love in the past? Hands down, the person who I have treated the worst in love in the past is myself. Which is so sad, but that is the honest to God truth. I have a really bad habit of holding on to people way longer than I need to. And when, you know, someone tells me that they don't want to be with me anymore, or I can sense them pulling away, instead of just like, you know, letting go and moving on, I kind of disrespect myself and beg in different ways for them to stay, and try to make myself as attractive to them as possible, which sometimes means like doing things I wouldn't normally do. Not anything crazy, but just like what's an example? Like allowing things to happen that I wouldn't normally let happen, and allowing myself to be disrespected when I know that I deserve better. But what's the saying? Like, rejection breeds obsession. And I tell myself this every time I allow myself to get in that position. Like, you don't need to put up with this. You deserve better. Like, let them go. But I always just like disrespect myself. And I feel like kind of turning them off even more, because I'm not just like being confident in myself and walking away. Oh, spider. He can stay. Yeah, it's a really bad habit of mine that I want to work on, but I haven't done that. I wish that I was the type of woman that was like, I'm a bad bee, you don't want me, fine, I'ma leave. But I'm not there yet, and especially because I don't let a lot of people in. So it's like, once I let someone in, I trust that person so much, and I don't want to go through that process again. So I do everything I can in my power to hold on to this person and to make them love me and see me still and want me and remember all the good times that we had, when in reality I should just accept that the relationship has served its purpose and to let it go. So I would say it is always, or it has always been myself who I treat the worst. I wasn't even trying to go that deep, but here we are. Next question. How has your childhood made you difficult to be around? We're back with the Swiffer. How has my childhood made me difficult to be around? Okay. Growing up, you know, I always had to be very aware of everyone's emotions in the house. And, you know, off, or someone was getting angry or could potentially get angry, like I wanted to do everything in my power to kind of like settle that tension and make sure it was a good, safe environment. And so I have always had a really difficult time with letting people be angry. If I know that somebody is upset or disappointed with me, I cannot continue with my day until that is resolved. And I think that's really difficult for some people to be around, because like there's nothing wrong with being upset, you know, that's an emotion that people feel. And sometimes people just are upset and there's nothing that you can do about it. But because I experienced that growing up, I've noticed that I don't ever just let people be angry. And a lot of people find that, not a lot of people, but some people find that really annoying. Like, I want to resolve it in the moment. Let's talk about it now. Let's work it out now, so that I don't have to carry this like stress and guilt with me throughout the whole day. But not everybody is that way, and I find that I have pushed a lot of people, not a lot, I keep saying a lot, but pushed a few people in the past to like resolve something with me when they're not ready. And I think that's a product of my childhood. I'm learning that I kind of just have to let people feel what they feel in terms of like anger. And I can't always solve things on my timeline. In your most depressed moods, these are questions hidden deep. In your most depressed moods, what do you tell yourself about your career? I tell myself that it's not about me. You know, the gifts that I have, I'm just like a vessel for them to bring them to this earth. And I take that really seriously. And I'm here to make people feel seen and heard and loved and represented, and to laugh and to try and brighten someone's day. And I know that it just really is not about me. I don't have a lot of money. I don't like have much, but if taking a couple hours of my day to make a video and edit, if I know that if I push through and do that, someone in some part of the world might feel inspired or just like a tinge happier, then I better get up and do that. So that's what I tell myself. So even though I definitely did not get this apartment as clean as it needs to be yet, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I am so grateful for all of you, and I'm so grateful for the home that I've been able to build here for the past 5 years. I've grown so much as a person in this space, and grown so much in this space in front of all of you, and I am so grateful for all of you. And I'm excited to share what this next chapter of my life is going to be. I talk so much about, you know, listening to your heart and leaving your comfort zone, and that's exactly what I'm doing while taking other people into consideration and being as safe as possible. I am practicing what I preach. This has been such a beautiful chapter of my life. Cassia will always hold a very special place in my heart, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. Thank you for always being patient with me. Thank you for laughing with me, crying with me, showing up for me, and as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here